sensational. But most of all, big, bigger, biggest. The NFL, finally, on Fox Sports.
Halloween a week and a half away, so this Friday on NBC, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers stars as Dracula, premiering Friday after Grimm right here on NBC.
Robert looking over the middle, firing, it is caught. He's going all the way. 89 yards, Pierre Garçon.
What a catch by Cecil Shorts.
Not caught. Lions, touchdown.
Long pass toward Vincent Jackson. It is caught.
What a catch by Reggie Wayne.
Grant looks, going to sail it. There's Harry Douglas. Hit the back of the helmet. He made the catch. Holy smoke.
Holy smoke, what a catch by Golden Tate.
Sam throws left sideline looking for Gibson, who makes an unbelievable catch.
Diving grab, Jones, touchdown.
Jones is there. It's caught.
He's got Cruz, 35, 30, touchdown Giants.
Oh, what a one-handed grab.
One-handed snatch out of thin air.
Mohamed Sanu makes a magnificent catch.
Alley-oop to Riley Cooper. I don't know how he hung on to that. Doctor reaches out. Touchdown Denver. An incredible catch.
Leaping, diving catch to the near side edge of the end zone. Stafford goes right side.
What a catch by Durham. Are you kidding me?
A great catch on the near sideline.
Fires downfield, and it is, oh, what a catch by Stevie Johnson.
Touchdown.
Oh, my goodness.
It was a catch.
Stafford wants to throw. It is
Caught inside the 10. Calvin, you get it.
Is he good or what?
Calvin got him. Touchdown, Detroit Lions.
Megatron breaking Jerry Rice's all-time record for receiving yards in a season.
Limping off is Samson Satelli, the center. That means Mike McGlynn, who started at right guard, goes to center. Here's how it happened.
Just gets rolled up in that interior line play. But this is a very significant down here now. As Colts with a nice drive, you need to finish this.
3rd and goal. Play action again. Chased and goes down as he throws. Terrence Knighton got to him, and the pass is incomplete. So Luck going down. They had a 1st and goal, and now it's 4th and goal, and have to settle for an Adam Vinatieri chip shot.
Coverage on the outside, really just one-on-one type coverage, and Reggie Wayne tried to make a late break, but there was nobody there. Guys looked almost surprised that he was moving out that way, like they had something else working.
27-yard attempt for Vinatieri in his 18th season is perfect. So it's Denver 7, Indianapolis 3.
Rugby. We all have our role. His is to beam the game to the world, and theirs to make sense of it. His is to wave his flag till his arms ache. Theirs for the fans back home. His is to make sure the team get there safe, and his that the kit does too. Their job is to support the best team in the world. Theirs is to be it. And we've got their back. Because at AIG, that's our job.
You vote for Kelly Pickler? You voted for Kelly Pickler?
No, there's no way.
Come on.
I always said if
Check
Kobe's
your phone
not
records.
going to win it, if Kobe's not going to win it after
See,
all my
you're a
tweets,
you're a politician.
helping
You're
me out.
like Anthony Weiner. You put something out there, then you got to call it back, and then you get caught again. Deny.
What's your weigh in at today, man? Look like you're enjoying this camp food, man. You all right?
How many pork chops you have last night?
Hands higher in the chest.
Huh? Do you have some flown in?
Oh, I need some.
Get cheese.
When he gets that weight down, he's going to look fabulous. He's going to look marvelous. Remember that Saturday Night Live skit? Billy Crystal. You look marvelous.
Take a look at this. It seems impossible, right? You can't always believe your eyes. They can trick you. And that's pretty much what Brain Games is all about.
Brain Games on National Geographic Channel.
If you're a follower of football, you know about the firestorm all week. Jim Irsay, the owner and CEO of the team, had this to say last week. Tom Brady never had consistent numbers, but he has 3 of these championship rings. Pittsburgh 2, Giants 2, Baltimore 2. We had 1. That leaves you frustrated. You make the playoffs 11 times. You're out in the first round 7 out of 11 times. You love to have the Star Wars number from Peyton and Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne, but mostly you love this, a Super Bowl ring. And of course, what that did is it created this whole maelstrom where Peyton was not going to be drawn into the controversy, but he certainly had enough people who came to his defense. And there are many, many ways you can look and parse what Irsay said. Is the kick is taken by Holiday, always a threat from deep in the end zone, but this time the coverage is good to the 12-yard line. When I first heard it, I thought it was more of a shot at Bill Polian, who was the general manager. Maybe a little bit at Tony Dungy. I don't know. But, you know, what Irsay was saying is, hey, we had all these great teams. We only won 1 ring. How did you assess it?
Well, I'm just going to start from Peyton Manning's standpoint. When you throw the name Tom Brady out there, and that somehow he was more successful because of the Super Bowl rings, and somehow what they did here in Indianapolis during that time was a bit of a failure, that's going to sting no matter what anybody says.
Oh, yeah. John Fox came to his defense. He thought it was a cheap shot. Here's Moreno taking it for a gain of 9. Of course, everybody makes such a big deal of, oh, Manning wants to come in and kill these guys. And Peyton told us last night, I don't like it when people say how badly I want to win the game. It's like an insult. I want to win every game I've ever played badly. And the pass is too high, intended for Moreno. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
You know, it's really unfortunate. I don't think that Jim Irsay would have believed at the time that that was going to be the issue it became. But when you are the owner of a football team and speaking for everybody of those last 14 years, that was a little rough.
3rd and 1 out of the pistol. What the Colts PR staff would love to do is take Irsay's Twitter account away, among other things.
Yep.
And they hand the ball off inside, and Moreno, did he get to the 23-yard line? It's going to be extremely close as they mark the ball what appears to be maybe inches shy. Let's see where they put it down. The yellow line is normally pretty accurate, even though, and you know this, of course, it's unofficial.
Nice job right in here. These guys just going to hammer it down inside. The one liabilities that the Denver Broncos have for all the great numbers that Julius Thomas, their tight end, has already put up this season, he is not much of a blocker. Really showed up in the game last week against Jacksonville. That time standing up on the line of scrimmage in a short yardage situation.
Well, Sheffers has to do a knee bend to tell us that it comes up about a length short. And that's the second time that Manning has been faced with a 4th and 1 and has to come off the field for the punting unit. So they start with a 9-yard run on 1st down and can't get the 1st down. And Britton Colquitt to punt for the 2nd time in the game. His first kick was 51 yards. T.Y. Hilton is back to receive it. Another 3 minutes left in the quarter. Hilton underneath, runs it back from the 30, and stumbles forward to the 39-yard line where Luck and company take over. 2:58 to go in the opening quarter. 7-3 Broncos.
Strippers Strippers Cars for Cash continues.
You better get down here a bit lively.
And there's some new surprises in store, starting with tougher challenges.
The noise of it, it's unbelievable.
And rougher climates. But top profit still means pole position, and there's all to play for.
Bosh, Wallen, look at that.
The guys are back on the road in Strippers Cars for Cash on National Geographic Channel.
Whereabouts you based? Pardon? Where's that?
Take a look at this. It seems impossible, right? You can't always believe your eyes. They can trick you. And that's pretty much what Brain Games is all about.
Brain Games on National Geographic Channel.
Common thread, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck. Their fathers playing quarterback in the NFL. Oliver between 82 and 86. Luck finishing second in the Heisman balloting. Manning and Luck each #1 draft picks. Each started every game as a rookie. Luck had a better group around him than Peyton did. And also the fathers were teammates with the Houston Oilers back in the early 80s for a couple of seasons. From the 39-yard line, and there's action before the snap.
False start, number 78, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Gosh, Cheryl, let's go to Michelle.
Well, starting center Samson Satelli questionable right now with a right knee. They took him back to the locker room, tried to fit him with a brace to get him back out here. They've only got 7 offensive linemen up. If he goes down, that leaves him with 6, Al.
All right, Michelle. Meanwhile, McGlynn has played center. He played the center spot in weeks 3 and 4 this season when Satelli was also hurt. Lincoln back, as he did in weeks 3 and 4, comes in at right guard, McGlynn's spot. And so it'll be first down and 15 from the 34-yard line. And Richardson swinging to the outside, and he'll get tripped up by Miller, Von Miller, knocking him down to the line of scrimmage.
Well, one of the problems, though, the Colts are going to end up having is this is a team that likes to play with 6 offensive linemen. They bring in that jumbo package, and Kobe Fleener really is not much of a blocker on that end as well. So now Von Miller probably is going to be able to overmatch Kobe Fleener on the outside on the edge.
2nd and 13. And the Broncos rushing 5. Luck steps away, throws incomplete. T.Y. Hilton covered by Champ Bailey. 3rd down and 13, and Luck has started the game 5 of 10 for 79 yards.
And Andrew Luck's a guy, obviously a smart guy out of Stanford, his high school valedictorian, 6'4", 240. And he steps up, and he's a force trying to get him on the ground. But he's a guy, he admitted to us, he said, you know, sometimes I like getting hit. It kind of wakes me up. If I'm going bad, I take off and run, and just by getting hit, I feel like I'm back in the game again.
The right tackle, Cirulis, lost a shoe. Thus the only other lineman, Joe Wrights, is in the game at right tackle, and the pass is caught, but not for very much yardage by Kobe Fleener. Chris Harris comes up to make the tackle. That'll make it 4th down and 9, and McAfee will kick it away for the 3rd time in the quarter.
I'd say this Denver defense has improved a bit over what we saw in Dallas a few weeks ago. Still the 32nd ranked pass defense, but they are rock solid against the run, averaging just about 3 yards per carry. So now team's almost forced to throw it.
And McAfee, this is his best kick of the night. Gets a Bronx cheer from the folks in central Indiana. And Holiday will swing to the outside and be taken out of bounds with the ball still loose. Did it stay in bounds? Because if it did, it's going to be a Colts touchdown.
The officials are pointing
Sergio
the
Brown,
other way.
Sergio Brown picked it up. So Holiday lost it, and now he sees the officials signal. And let's take a look as it's very, very close. Sheffers coming over, checking it out. Stanley Havili created the fumble. The crowd is now looking at the replay. They think it stayed in bounds. He's in, he's in. The ball is out. Does the ball stay in? Appears to.
I think we're going to get a change on that one. Now, they won't be able to award the touchdown, right? But they can award possession of the ball.
Correct. And they go over this with Pagano. It was not ruled. It would have normally been, had the ruling been a turnover, it would have been automatically checked because it was a turnover, but it was ruled that it wasn't a turnover. Thus, Pagano has the challenge, and we think he will win it and get the ball deep in Denver territory.
Take a look at this. It seems impossible, right? You can't always believe your eyes. They can trick you. And that's pretty much what Brain Games is all about.
Brain Games on National Geographic Channel.
So Holiday knows what's coming, waiting to hear his fate, which is going to result in a turnover here. And again, you can't advance this as it bounces in the playing field and then is recovered. And Brown is going to get the ball where he first touched it.
I'm going to guess Stanley Havili's played a little defense in his day. He had Trendon Holiday pinned against the boundary, knew he wasn't going to lose him, and then took the guy that's 5'5" tall and 170 pounds. You know Havili is much stronger than he is, and just ripped that thing out. It was really a brilliant play on his part. And so far, this game is going all Colts' way as far as I'm concerned. The one thing you didn't want to have happen is get blown out in the first quarter in your home ballpark, and everything is sort of working in favor of the Colts right now.
So the only thing that the missed call by the officials results in is the fact you can't advance it. Had they ruled it correctly the first time, or what we think is correctly, then if the fumble had been ruled on the field of play instead of out of bounds, it could have been advanced. But once it's ruled in the manner they ruled it, you can't advance it.
And they really caught a great break there that ball managed to stay in bounds.
After review, the ruling on the field is reversed. The runner was not out of bounds. The ball was dislodged prior to him being out of bounds, and a quick recovery by the Indianapolis player at the 11-yard line. That's where Indianapolis will have it, 1st and 10.
Well, the crowd wants a touchdown, but the reason they can't get a touchdown is the ball, it was in effect whistled dead. The play was whistled dead. Again, if they don't whistle it dead and they call it a turnover, ruled it as a turnover, which it eventually turns out to be, then it could have been advanced for the touchdown. And that's why the crowd is booing.
This thing needs to be advanced for a touchdown for the Colts. You catch a break like that, they've been down here before, unable to stick it in, and it's time.
So from the 11 on 1st down. And they'll swing it out to Hayward Bay. Clear sailing to the end zone. Darius Hayward Bay, former Oakland Raiders, started to swing in motion toward Luck, swung back the other way, catches it in the flat, takes it in.
Just a great play design that time by Pep Hamilton. Completely fooled the Broncos defense.
So one play after the turnover, Vinatieri bangs it through, and with 1:20 to go in the opening quarter, Denver in an unusual position, trailing.
Motion's coming over here. They're going to switch this off. And watch, I think this is Champ Bailey right here, thinking that Darius Hayward-Bay ran all the way across the field, got fooled, comes back the other way, and there simply is nobody left on that side of the field. You can see Champ, I believe, I can barely see that number, but I think that's Champ Bailey ripping across the field, thinking he had to keep up with the speedster Hayward-Bay. See, they're going to switch it, so now Chris Harris is going to take the outside guy, and during the switch, somehow Champ Bailey lost his receiver. It's not been a good return so far for Champ Bailey. Did not look good against Jacksonville either. That's a long time to be away, hurt in the second preseason game. And sometimes you just lose a little feel for the game.
Meanwhile, that restructured offensive line on a 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line, helping to pave the way with protection. Holiday this time after that fumble on the road to atonement, and McAfee bangs him out of bounds. McAfee, who hit his hardest, most linebackers playing the role of a linebacker right there.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I don't think I've ever seen a kicker with this kind of hit. Of course, it helps a little bit when the guy is smaller than you are, just 5'5". Pat McAfee is going to be legend among kickers everywhere.
Well, he has a 63-pound weight advantage. 233 to 170.
That was awesome.
From the 49-yard line. Manning's had 2 3-and-outs and then a 2-play touchdown drive. Off the fake, sliding, and trying to find the open man, but the secondary does a great job. Intended for Demarius Thomas, and it will be 2nd down and 10.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 20, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
But that's Darius Butler who holds, as Manning's bought so much time that Butler winds up holding on, and it's a 1st down.
One thing you see when you watch the Colts tape is that these defensive backs are a little grabby down the field. Typically, you can get away with that. The officials may call 1 or 2, but they certainly don't often call 6 or 7.
1st down, Moreno squirting through the hole over right guard to the 39-yard line. Tackled by Bethea, gain of 7, 2nd and 3, final minute of the quarter.
A lot of people doubted whether or not Noshawn Moreno was even going to make this team. In the last couple of weeks, I think he's taken over. I think it's his job now.
Colts 20 plays, and this is only the 10th for Denver. And Moreno is a yard short of the 1st down. 3rd and 1, tackled by Angerer at the 37-yard line with a half a minute to go in the 1st quarter.
Well, we've seen this situation before. This has been a bit of the Achilles heel so far. They've been trying to run it. And Peyton takes things in his own hands here.
It's the third and 1 situation. They haven't converted on the other 2. Manning stepping away, clock running down, and the quarter will end. So Manning will take it the other way on a 3rd and 1. 7 points for the Broncos in the quarter, 10 for the Colts. Sunday Night Football from Indy resumes after this.
Rugby. We all have our role. His is to beam the game to the world, and theirs to make sense of it. His is to wave his flag till his arms ache. Theirs for the fans back home. His is to make sure the team get there safe, and his that the kit does too. Their job is to support the best team in the world. Theirs is to be it. And we've got their back. Because at AIG, that's our job.
Here we go, baby. This is where you want to be. This is where you always wanted to be. Let's get ready right now. Right now! My bad, boy. Yeah! Get off the field! Keep them going. I ain't James Brown, want no jacket. We gotta be nasty, man. Everybody watching? Everybody watching. Everybody watching right now.
Punt is blocked. It's been blocked by Reed. He picks it up and takes it into the end zone for a touchdown.
Reed coming from behind him, strips the football.
He just seems to be around the ball. Just has the speed and savvy to find the football and make big plays.
I feel something tricky, Holmes.
Aerial coverage tonight being brought to you by Geico. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeFoya, and a couple of blocks away is Victory Field, home of the AAA Indianapolis Indians, the Pittsburgh Pirates farm team. And tonight you've got Edgerrin James in the house, along with Marvin Harrison, two great former Colts. Looking on, you saw the tribute to Peyton Manning in the outfield at Victory Field, and now we start the second quarter. To the 3rd and 1, and Manning to the air this time, swinging to the outside and backing up and making the catch is Jacob Tammy, who played here with Manning a couple of years back for a first down. So they couldn't run it for the first on 2 3rd and 1s, and they throw it this time, 1st and 10.
Pretty nice play there. I think that was Sean Phillips jumping over the top there, but this, no, my apologies.
Thanks. You saw Greg Minuski, the defensive coordinator, sending in the signal at the 30-yard line. Inside handoff and a very short gain to Moreno. So the Denver Broncos, that offensive line, and they had their own issues earlier in the season, but Manny Ramirez takes over this year at center. They get Vasquez, longtime Charger, who was a teammate and roommate of Ramirez at Texas Tech. He's over at right tackle right now. They lost Ryan Clady, one of the best left tackles in the league, earlier in the season. So a little mix and match there as well. 2nd down and 9, and Manning hit as he throws and gets it away to Decker, who scored the touchdown earlier, and he has a first down as he takes it to the 16, and Jarrell Freeman came in and put a shot on Manning.
This Jarrell Freeman is really becoming a star in the league. Over 200 tackles for him a season ago. Came out of Canada. And he is a guy, probably without question, their best cover linebacker, but also has the ability to get after Peyton Manning. And most people believe you're ever going to beat Peyton Manning, you better hit him a few times.
1st and 10, and the pistol this time again with Ronnie Hillman now the back. And Manning will send it to Hillman, but sniffing it out perfectly is LaRon Landry, the former Redskin and Jet, who's been hurt, and he's making his return tonight. Heavy hitter.
If you watch LaRon Landry enough, you will see certain missile shots coming up. And that time, LaRon Landry, who is a guy that not only is a big hitter, but has the speed to cover sideline to sideline, a huge re-addition to this team after his injury.
And you saw those numbers, red zone passing, 17 touchdowns, no picks, 17 of his 23 now touchdowns for the season. On 2nd and 9. Manning dancing, buying time, but again, it's only a short game this time. Welker cutting across over the middle. He's tackled there by Angerer. And that will set up a 3rd down and 6 for Denver.
And this is really about the best you can hope for. You know, you talk to anybody on the Colts, but Greg Minuski, their defensive coordinator, said, I don't care if they go 90 yards on every drive. If they have to kick field goals, we win.
You just saw Adam Gase, the offensive coordinator, a year younger than the quarterback he calls the signals into. 3rd down and 6, and Manning throws a floater into the end zone and a fingertip catch made by Julius Thomas for the touchdown. Julius Thomas, his 3rd year in the league, but it's the first time he's seen any extensive action, and what a godsend he has been for this team.
Well, coming out of absolute nowhere, Julius Thomas, just one catch in his career before this season. and he's going to bobble this ball, but they tried to get it out, but simply could not, and he has become the X factor on this offense.
So it's a 3rd and 6. Does he have complete possession with both feet down?
I think he does.
Again, all scoring plays are reviewed, so they're looking at it upstairs. And Sheffers is so signaling that it's good. So a 56-yard kickoff returns. Got them started from Holiday. Touchdown on 3rd down and 6. Denver retakes the lead. And Prater for the extra point. Thomas with his 8th touchdown catch of the season. A couple of minutes into the second quarter. 14-10 Denver.
In Super Bowl 47, the Baltimore Ravens scored the game's first 4 touchdowns.
Down the middle, touchdown, Ravens!
Flacco play action, throws.
The game's 2 longest scoring plays belong to Ravens wide receiver Jacoby Jones.
Jones makes the catch, he's not touched, bounces up, running at the left hash mark, lunges in.
Jones 8 yards deep, brings it out of the end zone. Left hash mark 10, 15, 20, sheds the tackle, 30.
He could, he will go all the way, Jacoby Jones.
San Francisco battled back.
Spins away, and Crabtree will take it in for a touchdown.
Kaepernick going to roll to his left, trying to get down the sideline. Kaepernick running to the 10, to the 5, he's in.
In the end, a valiant goal line stand proved to be the difference.
Incomplete. And for a second time, the Baltimore Ravens are Super Bowl champions of the world.
Sir, your son cannot keep doing this.
You gotta let me bring him down. Jake! Come on down, okay? The universe is made up ratios and patterns, where everything and everyone is connected. Your son, he sees how it's all connected. They're all the same number. Okay, how did you do that? It's a roadmap, and your job is to follow it for him. He's trying to tell us something. The time, the date, it's all connected. Whatever it is, it's supposed to happen today. I don't know if you understand a single word that I'm saying, but I can hear you, Jake. I can hear you now.
Watch Touch on Fox.
In his 30th season as the owner and CEO of the Denver Broncos, and he has had, of course, his share of success. Been to the Super Bowl 5 times and won a pair in John Elway's last 2 seasons. Cassius Vaughn running it back to the 26-yard line. And back to the touchdown we go.
Always tough anytime there's Jarrell Freeman right here and you're going to get this route. You can see Freeman will end up thinking he's going to take the tight end down the field. Julius Thomas falls back under on Wes Welker. Lesser of 2 evils, and Peyton Manning, he sees it easier than I do. He sees it when it's happening on the field. Nice read, beautiful throw. And Julius Thomas, boy, what a weapon he is.
Meanwhile, Satelli is back in the game after missing a couple of series, the Indy center. And from the gun, getting a big break off the left side was Miller. Meanwhile, Brown makes the catch. And that's a gain of 8. But I tell you, Von Miller comes off that line of scrimmage as fast as anybody.
Yeah, that was right there as far as being a little quick. But I tell you, they've got a good one over on that side. And Gosder Sherilis, a guy that they say really has come over and just been the bell cow, the guy that holds everybody accountable, of course, coming over from Detroit. And he just doesn't put up with a lot with that offensive line. They all respect him, and tonight he's getting the job done against Von Miller.
Second and a deuce from the 34. Brown, number 1 pick in 09 out of Connecticut, gets tackled over the 35. Trevathan making the tackle, and you begin to wonder, they picked up The Colts did Trent Richardson in that trade, but had some guys stayed healthy, including Ahmad Bradshaw, Vic Ballard. They might not have needed to make that trade.
Yep.
But Brown gives them a little bit of a change of pace. 3rd and 1. They've got Richardson in the game. There he is, coming over from the Browns, the overall number 3 pick in the draft last year, behind Luck and RG3. And they give it to him, and he's going to get stuffed at the 33-yard line, and that's Von Miller saying,
Well, Von Miller really has had a bigger impact on the running game so far than he has on the passing game. His quickness just meeting that in the backfield, and you could see the offensive lineman just unable to keep his feet, trying to pull around there. And that is really what Trent Richardson is paid to do, and that is pick up some of those short yardage plays, and so far it hasn't worked out that way.
Here's McAfee's 4th punt. His last one was his best of the night, 53 yards. Flag is thrown. High booming kick, and with the penalty, Holiday's going to let it bounce. It takes a nice Colts bounce sideways at the 10-yard line, and we'll get the call with the flag thrown at the snap. Pretty extended conversation here. Fox indicates that a block, illegal block below the waist. What is the call? It's actually Cheffers who threw the flag. Now he's checking with his associates.
On the kicking team, number 54 had reported ineligible on the prior play, and then played at an eligible position. That's an illegal formation, 5-yard penalty.
You got it?
Yeah, well, when you come in, you got to report if you're going to be an ineligible number but an eligible player. So now it was an illegal formation, and because that kick was so good and down around the 10-yard line, they're going to say, yeah, we'll take that again, going back.
So that's Mario Harvey, who is a linebacker by trade and can also play some fullback on short yardage situations and on special teams.
And that's exactly what happened. In the play previous, he was playing fullback, and so then he goes back to being an ineligible player on the inside.
There you go. From the 28-yard line. Let's see if McAfee can do it again. Holiday's going to back up. Good kick. Holiday from the 13-yard line. Flag is thrown on the run back. And he takes it back to the 29-yard line, but the penalty marker is down. In fact, 2 of them back at the 11 and the 13.
During the return, holding, number 12, return team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
That's Andre Caldwell. All right, it's all sorted out now. 9:41 to go in the half. Denver by 4.
Rugby. We all have our role. His is to keep his eyes on the game, and his on everything else. Theirs is to keep the team strong in body, and his strong in mind. His job is to make sure the game starts well, and his that it ends the same way. Their job's to fill the stadium with passion. Theirs is to fill it with pride. And we've got their back. Because at AIG, that's our job.
Strippers Cars for Cash continue.
You better get down here a bit lively.
And there's some new surprises in store, starting with tougher challenges.
The noise of it is unbelievable.
And rougher climates. But top profit still means pole position, and there's all to play for.
Bosh, Wallen, look at that.
The guys are back on the road in Strippers Cars for Cash on National Geographic Channel.
Whereabouts you based? Pardon? Where's that?
Please. Please. Please help me.
The Walking Dead, Season 4, coming soon on Fox.
Two guys who really know Manning well. Clyde Christensen, longtime assistant here under 3 regimes. And Reggie Wayne. They know everything about number 18.
Well, Reggie Wayne telling us that he has 12 pages of signals that he had used over the years with Peyton Manning, but he didn't give his defense any of them. He said it won't do you any good. He can make a call that forces you to disregard the audible. So you may know the words, but he goes up and goes red, and then whatever the words are, and that means disregard everything I've done. So all I would do is mess them up. They asked for him. I said no.
You know, I know, you know, I know.
That's exactly what it is. And we saw earlier this year, Peyton Manning burned the Ravens on one.
You know. From the 6, they start this drive. Moreno to the 10. Here's Michelle.
Yeah, Clyde Christensen agreed with all of that, Chris. He told me that it's just ridiculous to try to predict Peyton, because one week Peyton would call a play Florida, the next week he'd change it to Gator, then he'd change it to Spurrier, then he'd change it to Steve, and he'd continue to change them. You just can't rely on it.
Trickery and deceit will get you everywhere. 2nd and 7. And Decker can't one-handed. Christensen's been here. He was with Tony Dungy in Tampa. Tony brought him here. Then he was with Jim Caldwell. And Chuck Pagano said, you stay with me.
I'll tell you, this Luis Vasquez doing a pretty nice job over here working against Robert Mathis in this building with all the noise. Here's a guard. Remember, he was a guard having to kick out now and play tackle with maybe the toughest assignment that there is in the NFL against a guy with 9.5 sacks already this year, but he's been doing well.
Taking the spot of Orlando Franklin over there, who got hurt last week and is inactive tonight. Manning stepping away, loses the ball, and the ball will stay in the end zone. The Colts are there. Sheffers is checking. You got Robert Mathis, the master of the sack fumble. They're going to call it a safety, saying that it was recovered out of bounds. But Robert Mathis, who has done this a million times when he's been Peyton's teammate, does it to Manning himself.
Doesn't work on one side, you go to the other side, and there it goes. That was the empty hand.
And the ball is recovered, but out of bounds for the safety.
Touchdown, Houston.
Make it special tonight. This is our house. It's our night. And it's our division. All hands on deck. The journey ends in 60 minutes. It's about 53 minutes. Stay in this huddle with me right now. 53 men together. One focus, one mission. Real estate's got pride. Real estate's got swag. Got that swag. Got that swag. Got that swag. Got that swag. Let's go get one more. 1, 2, 3. Dominate.
Please. 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 Please help me.
The Walking Dead, Season 4, coming soon on Fox.
You're going to do all the sack fumbles.
This is both a scoring play and a turnover, so it's being reviewed right now. Clearly, number one, Manning's arm is not coming forward, so you definitely have a sack. You have a sack fumble. The question now is, as Walden tries to recover the ball, does he have possession before he goes out of bounds? The ball is a little bit loose there. It's so crazy, even if your hair is out of bounds, believe it or not, if your hair is out of bounds, you're out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't think he regains control until right about there, and my belief is his shoulder is on the line at that point. No control, no control, no control, and now that shoulder, it's close. I wonder if they would count the hair.
They do. They absolutely. The hair is, if you want to grow your hair like that, I think the Polamalu was involved in a play a few years ago where the hair came into play.
It's a funny rule because you can actually tackle by the hair and no penalty. There's all kinds of hair rules out there.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Safety.
Well, the crowd wanted 5 more points, but they'll have to settle for 2, and they're going to get the ball with the score 14-12 on a free kick from the 20-yard line.
And Robert Mathis has started. They tried to go with Chris Clark blocking one-on-one on the outside against him, but without help, it's going to be tough. No, Sean Marino ordinarily would come up and try and chip. Remember, backup tackles now on both sides. Vasquez did pretty well on the right. Mathis goes to the other side and gets success and scores.
That's 39 career sack fumbles for Robert Mathis, most all-time, tied now with Jason Taylor, and it's really since 1982 when sacks became an official statistic. Of course, the late Deacon Jones always said I had twice as many as anybody, but it became official in '82, and 39 of them for Robert Mathis. Another guy who, you know, he might have gone in the fire sale too. He thought, well, maybe I'm gone. Dwight Freeney was sent away this year, signed with San Diego, got hurt, and there it is, Dolman 38, Taylor and Mathis with 39.
Well, 10.5 sacks on the season now. He's been fantastic so far, and that after leading the Colts last year with just 8 sacks, so off to a tremendous start.
10.5 sacks for him, leading the league. Levon Brazil this time is going to return the kick, which is in effect a punt, a free kick from the 20, and Brazil from the 18 brings it back to the 34-yard line. Sunday Night Football from Indianapolis being brought to you by Subway. Train hard, eat fresh. By the new 2014 Lexus GX. Dare to be spontaneous. By Frost Brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. And by Thor: The Dark World, in theaters November the 8th. Beautiful. Around the stadium before the game.
That's great.
Classic.
Not so classic.
From the 34-yard line, Brown is the running back in this set from the 34 on first down off play action. And Luck finds the open man, and it turns out to be Brown, and Donald Brown with a flag thrown after a broken tackle takes it to the 38, but Sheffers will check it out. The flag is at the Denver 46.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact. Number 25, defense. That penalty is declined. Results of the play, first down.
Chris Harris, and of course they'll take the play, which is 28 yards.
It's always anytime you have the bootleg action coming one way and the back going back the other. If you have a good patient quarterback like Luck is, able to come all the way back across and come up with a big play. This is turning into a little bit of the shootout that maybe the Colts hadn't envisioned, but you kind of get the feeling Andrew Luck's ready to go and wants to take his shot at Peyton Manning.
Rogers Camardi came out of the game holding his arm, and out of the outside, Brown will go nowhere as he gets tackled by Chris Harris.
Probably the biggest improvement on this Broncos team over the last couple of years, just their ability to stop the run. And when you can stop a team's run, it just puts them in a situation, especially now with Von Miller back in action, where you can start to come after the quarterback. Now 2nd down and 10, all the advantage moves to the defensive side of the ball. You can stunt, you can do anything you want here.
Luck in the pocket, protected well, and then the pass is incomplete over the middle intended for Reggie Wayne. Well, you saw the roof open, and we thought it might be a little bit of gamesmanship because, well, we'd heard that Peyton preferred the roof to be closed, but his numbers would belie that. He's been great under any circumstance, but it's an interesting call they made tonight because right now it's 53 degrees. That what they call the window is open facing the north, and it's chilly in here.
I think they were going to do anything they could come up with to try and give him a little edge in this one. They don't want him coming back in this building and walking out with a win.
3rd and 11. And Luck, who can run. And Luck fighting his way close to a first down. Miller and Harris were there, but Andrew is 6'4" and about 240 and gets the first down.
And no slide here. Here's the big guy. Said occasionally it wakes him up if he gets hit in the ball game. He knew exactly where that first down marker was, and no slide jumps a little bit on the tail end of this thing. Fantastic play there by Andrew Luck.
Well, he's had 7 runs on 3rd down plays this year. Every one has resulted in a first down. That off of 3rd and 11.
That's points too. That one almost guarantees you 3 points at least.
Already in field goal range, and the pass is batted away by Danny Trevathan. And boy, he's really come on. Remember him on opening night? He had the interception against Joe Flacco against Baltimore, and then he's running free to the end zone, and he gives up the ball at about the half-yard line, and it winds up rolling out of the end zone. It winds up with Woodyard getting hurt on the play. It was an embarrassing thing. He goes to the bench and he tells John Fox, "I'm sure I was in," but he wasn't.
No, but he is a tremendous player. Great coverage linebacker.
2nd and 10. And this is Richardson with some tough running here. Breaking a tackle at the line of scrimmage and getting to the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
Mike McGlynn coming around on a little power action here around this way, and this is really what they've been waiting for Trent Richardson. He had a nice play last week on a little flare pass to the outside, made some people miss. He's a big, strong guy, and he loves contact, but what they're telling him is love contact a little more. Use your quickness and less of your physical abilities. We'd like to keep you around for a little while.
3rd and 2 from the 20. And Luck to the outside. He'll convert. Havili makes the catch and takes it all the way in for a Colts touchdown. Stanley Havili came over in a trade with Philadelphia, and he gives the Colts the lead.
Now, when you have a defensive end that ends up in coverage, sometimes you flank a fullback out and it messes with your defensive formations. Robert Ayers, absolutely no way he's going to stay with Havili, who's had a big game here so far tonight.
So Mathis sets it up with the safety. That's 2 points. Puts him in possession for a touchdown drive. That's 7 after the Vinatieri conversion. And with 5:50 to go in the opening half, Indianapolis on top, 19-14.
Here we go, baby. This is where you want to be. This is where you always wanted to be. Let's get ready right now. Right now! My bad, boy. Yeah! Get off the field! Keep them going. Hey, James Brown, want no jacket? We gotta be nasty, man.
Sir, your son cannot keep doing this.
You gotta let me bring him down. Jake!
Come on down, okay? The universe is made up ratios and patterns, where everything and everyone is connected. Your son, he sees how it's all connected. They're all the same number. Okay, how did you do that? It's a roadmap, and your job is to follow it for him. He's trying to tell us something. The time, the date, it's all connected. Whatever it is, it's supposed to happen today. I don't know if you understand a single word that I'm saying, but I can hear you, Jake. I can hear you now.
Watch Touch on Fox.
Rugby. We all have our role. His is to keep his eyes on the game and his on everything else. Theirs is to keep the team strong in body and his strong in mind. His job is to make sure the game starts well and his that it ends the same way. Their job's to fill the stadium with passion. Theirs is to fill it with pride. And we've got their back. Because at AIG, that's our job.
In one season, Jones went from unappreciated receiver to bona fide celebrity, strutting his stuff on football's biggest stage and primetime TV.
It's like, you know, winning Dancing with the Stars. You have the right chain of events got to take place.
You're right.
And you got to be the best dancer, which you clearly were not.
No, and it showed. But I was the best male dancer.
You were, and you were the best athlete.
I was the best.
And I thought you were the, well, I like the two girls though too. I mean, if I was a normal fan, I might think you were the funnest and funniest and all that, but I know you, and it doesn't really do as much for me. Watching you do your thing on TV, I see it every day.
You see it every day.
Right.
Whether he's in front of an audience or back home with his mom in New Orleans, Jones is a born entertainer.
Ready?
You ready?
Oh.
See? He messed up.
Up again.
Pick three.
All right. People think, oh, your mama's so sweet, so pretty. Well, she is something else.
I ate those raisins. You know?
That was terrible.
They didn't taste very good at all, but you know what? I got like gas, man. Yeah. It's just tearing me up right now.
What we got going on over there? Oh, they're taking a picture. Oh, yeah. Aww. So cute.
You want to see B get nervous? Watch this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Be fair catch before. Be fair catch before the ball.
2 minutes to halftime. 1st and 10. Denver has 2 timeouts. Starting the set of downs from the 20. And Manning throwing deep down the left side, and the pass is incomplete. Thomas covered there by Vontae Davis and getting some help as well. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
One of the really difficult parts of playing this team is that you can only help on so many guys. You see Vontae Davis there moving inside, which meant he basically had him all by himself. But so far here at the end of this second quarter, Vontae Davis has been up to the task.
And Manning throws. It's a fluttering pass. It's incomplete. Eric Decker was the intended receiver. Freeman covering on the play. Peyton barking at himself, and it's 3rd and 10.
Well, nobody knows that old Peyton Manning drive route any better than the Indianapolis Colts do. And that time they were just sitting there waiting on him to come across the field.
Anger, meanwhile, the linebacker is back in the game. 3rd and 10. Bunch 3 receivers to the left. Julius Thomas stays in the block, and the pass is thrown deep downfield and incomplete. Coverage is outstanding, intended for Demaryius Thomas, and so that was a 16-second 3-and-out.
Yeah, and this is just a one-on-one matchup that they continue to go after. It doesn't matter who's on Demaryius Thomas. If he gets one-on-one, they're going to throw it up to him. But Vontae Davis keeps finding ways to win that battle, and this makeshift secondary that's come from 3 different teams around the league has been getting it done.
Colquitt to punt. And it is a 39-yard boot. T.Y. Hilton with about a 10-yard return to midfield. So Indy has the ball and all of its timeouts. And coming up, the Toyota halftime. The Chiefs are now 7-0, so they're at the moment on top of the AFC West. RG3 late game heroics. What a wild one that was. Washington beat Chicago. Bob Costas, Hines Ward, looking back at the first half, and we go to Michelle.
Well, Champ Bailey questionable with a foot injury. It's that same left foot he injured in that preseason game against the Seahawks that you talked about. Long conversations with the trainer and team doctor, and he's sidelined for the moment, Al.
All right, thank you, Michelle. That means Kayvon Webster, a rookie out of South Florida, will see some extended time tonight, and the pass is caught at the 45 by Reggie Wayne for a gain of 5.
Very interesting clock management on the part of the Broncos to not work any of that clock off, and now have turned around and given Andrew Luck a chance to put points on the board.
And there may be some clock management on the part of the Colts to not leave Manning any time on the other side as they work it downfield to pick up the first down. Donald Brown to the 39-yard line.
I think this team, the Broncos, is just so used to being able to do anything they want and go up and down the field that in this one, when they're getting stuffed a bit with their passing game, they're not quite sure how to react to that.
And now a timeout is taken here with 66 seconds remaining in the first half. And the Colts secondary, they dressed 10 of them tonight. And they've done the job.
Well, you look at them. Vontae Davis came over from Miami. Greg Toller came over from the Cardinals. Landry came over from the Jets, and they've made it all work. And I think getting Landry back has certainly helped here. He has the speed on the back end to come and make plays sideline to sideline and help cover for some of those one-on-one coverages.
A lot of credit goes to Greg Minuski, the defensive coordinator, who obviously had his hands full all week long preparing for Manning's return. Here's Luck escaping, throwing on the run, caught wide open. Fleener over the middle to the 17. So Fleener, a teammate of Luck's at Stanford, tackled there by Webster, and it's a first down after a gain of 21.
Really nice read that time by Kobe Fleener. He felt the underneath coverage, but the minute he turned his back, circled back the other way for the open throw.
Short drop. To the outside. This time it is Fleener again. Gain of only a couple. 32 seconds remaining in the half, and Indy takes its second timeout.
Kobe Fleener on that previous play is going to be working against Trevathan, who's looking at the quarterback, tries to look back at Fleener, and then just sort of circles back. You get the feeling those two guys have done that a few times at Stanford together. It's a big, powerful guy in the pocket. You don't see anything that Andrew Luck does being altered by a few guys grabbing him or a little stroke of the arm, whatever it is. He is 240 pounds a man. And you talk about some of the comparisons, even though a different style of player, Ben Roethlisberger, with that sort of strength inside the pocket and the ability to move around. Although Andrew Luck is a fast guy. He's about a 4'7" guy, so he can move.
2nd and 8. Luck. It's caught. Wayne, he's a little bit short of the first down. 3rd down. Want to save that timeout if they can. But it's one of those situations you don't want to spike it, make it 4th down. So he throws it to the right side, picks up the first down and the touchdown. Kobe Fleener. Boy, was that interesting. Clock ticking down, 1 timeout. You can't spike the ball. He gets it all.
It's so Peyton Manning, isn't it? I mean, it just looks like it. Before they could get settled, end up with a safety having to try and come out here and catch this thing. Everybody's thinking he's about to clock it or stop the clock in some way, whatever the case may be. and he's just up, bang, bang, bang. For a second-year player, this guy mentally is pretty amazing.
Vinatieri for the point after. And so after a very fast Denver 3 and out, Colts get the ball with 1:44. It takes them 1:34 to go down the field, and Pagano's team leads by 12 points. Only time Denver has trailed at the half this year was the opening night game, the Thursday night in Denver, when Baltimore led 17-14 at halftime. And before that night was done, Peyton Manning had thrown 7 touchdown passes. Luck perfect on that drive, 8-yard touchdown pass to Fleener. Mentioned he played with him at Stanford. Fleener drafted in the 2nd round last year.
Well, there's no way around this. That was a huge mistake by Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. They were backed up. Yeah, maybe they could have gone down and gotten a field goal out of it, but at the very least, you have to milk that clock. You can't turn that ball over at the 40, 50-yard line and give Andrew Luck a chance to go the distance. So this close game now has a little space, but with Peyton Manning over there, a little space doesn't always mean very much.
Off 7 yards in. Holiday, always a threat, but this time only to the 20-yard line. It's going to leave Manning with 6 seconds and a probable kneel down, even though Denver will get the ball. They won the opening toss and deferred, and they'll get the ball to start the 3rd quarter.
You know, at the very least, you want to force the Colts to take all their timeouts. Some sure completions, some screens, whatever the case may be. But those incomplete passes gave the Colts the opportunity to go the other way and get a touchdown.
And those very human numbers for Manning, who's had anything but a human season to this point. So the first half is over. Broncos get the second half kickoff. Indianapolis leads 26-14. They're the halftime coming up after the break.
First guy in, last guy out. A lot of people say that, but a lot of people don't really do it.
You've had no patellofemoral issues, nothing in that kneecap?
Well,
any patellar issues?
That's the reason it's shaking.
Yeah. Is it pain right there?
It's pain, but it's not unbearable pain. So.
Yeah. Land even, land even, land even.
I know I have to be patient, but I'm also frustrated when they don't let me do simple things.
Good.
Yeah, I might have to go out there and kill Katani's number.
You ain't gonna do it. You can't be in there. I'm telling you right now.
Okay, all right. Push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, hammer bench, and hammer row.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Katani hit 226 total. I'm trying to beat that.
Further. 5. There you go. 6, 7, 8. Perfect. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 10, 6, 7, 58.
That's that. Gotta do that. Got him. Yes, sir.
Now we're starting to throw the ball around here.
Hey, man, you showing me some skills right there.
That's ridiculous. That was so good.
I love the fact that we can score 27 points a game on average. I love that. However, you still got to be tough, especially when you get in the playoffs. You understand? You can't have a bad day.
It's like I told you guys, man,
finding the cause for each other, all right? And we all have goals, but once you find a cause, then you can rally behind that. It's just finding it. Some people call it chemistry. It just kind of happens along the journey of the season.
Take a look at this. It seems impossible, right? You can't always believe your eyes. They can trick you. And that's pretty much what Brain Games is all about.
Brain Games on National Geographic Channel.
Welcome to the Toyota Halftime. Let's go places.
Trying to hand Denver its first loss of the season. Indy playing at home, up at the half, 26-14. Manning 9 for 16 for 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. But Luck 16 of 25 for 199 and 3 TDs. To New York and Dan.
All right, Bob, thank you. With Tony Dungy, Rodney Harrison. Rodney played against Peyton. You coached Peyton for 7 years. Now, take me in the locker room here at halftime. What's Peyton's demeanor like?
He's very businesslike. He's got all those Polaroids. He's looking at the coverages, and he's telling everybody, here's the plays we're going to emphasize. And it's all man-to-man coverage, Rodney.
And one thing that he's looking at is the slot receiver, Wes Welker. He has to get him more involved. He has 1 catch for 3 yards.
Can you make this a shootout? You know, as Bob mentioned, the numbers, Luck has thrown, I think, 9 or 10 more passes than Peyton has. Can the Colts go out there and, have a shootout with Denver?
They're going to have to keep scoring because I promise you Denver's going to score some points in the second half.
All right, let's look at the highlights here. It's Cincinnati and Detroit leading us off. Huge passing day for both teams. A.J. Green went against his mentor, Megatron. 82 of Green's 155 yards came in the first quarter touchdown. Cincinnati now 5-2. Cleveland at Green Bay. The Browns have led every game at halftime this year except for this one. Aaron Rodgers took care of that. Jordy Nelson. Packers visit Minnesota next Sunday night here on NBC. Rodgers threw 3 touchdowns. Baltimore and Pittsburgh, don't count out the Steelers. They won their second in a row. Ben to Heath Miller. Sean Sweezum kicked the game winner as time expired. Pittsburgh now 2-4. Dallas at Philadelphia. Battle for first place. Tony Romo to Terrence Williams. Cowboys win it. Eagles lost another quarterback, Nick Foles. Matt Barkley came in, threw 3 interceptions. Chicago at Washington, 86 points in the shootout. RG3 looked like RG3. Jordan Reed on the receiving end. Bears led by 3 in the final minute, but Roy runs in. Bears fall to 4-3. New England at the Jets. Turning point came at the start of the second half. Antonio Allen started that Jets comeback, a pick 6 of Tommy Brady. But the moment everybody will be talking about came in overtime. A controversial Patriots penalty gave Nick Foles a second chance. The Jets knock off the Patriots. New England now 5-2. Houston at Kansas City. Chiefs stay undefeated, but they got a tough test from the Texans. Alex Smith, I don't know who he's giving the ball to or faking it to.
That's a new play.
Yeah, faked out everybody. Houston has now lost 5 in a row. Chiefs face the Browns at home next week, then visit the Broncos 3 weeks after that. So we could have only one undefeated team by night's end.
And Kansas City is no joke, Dan. They've got good running attack, as you call it, economical passing, but they've got a great defense. Those guys get after it. They may have the best 4-man rush in football. Tamba Hali was great today.
What about the Patriots here?
The Patriots are 5-2. They got a good record, Dan, but on the defensive side of the ball, they have some injuries. That offensive line, they've been inconsistent. They couldn't run the ball today. Tom Brady threw a pick 6. He hasn't played well this year.
But you got Gronk back, and the difference that makes, certainly in the red zone. Do you see that as a big difference maker for this team?
I think that would be a huge difference because now he'll focus more on Gronk in the red zone in the third down situations.
But they've got to get some of those defensive liabilities shored up.
Well, they had 3 defensive starters out today. Coming up next, Bob Costas and Hines Ward in the first half, but time now to see what antics Coach T is up to this week.
Rugby. We all have our role. His is to keep his eyes on the game and his on everything else. Theirs is to keep the team strong in body and his strong in mind. His job is to make sure the game starts well and his that it ends the same way. Their job's to fill the stadium with passion. Theirs is to fill it with pride. And we've got their back. Because at AIG, that's our job.
Back now at Lucas Oil Stadium, joined by Hines Ward with Indianapolis up by 12 at the half. You thought, Hines, that they played it, speaking of Indy, a little close to the vest at the outset, but then properly opened it up in the second quarter.
Yeah, I really didn't like the game plan by offensive coordinator Pep Hamilton early in the game, trying to keep the ball away from Peyton Manning. And I was happy to see them opening things up in the second quarter. But when you got the #1 overall pick, the new face of the franchise, the game plan should be you got to win with luck. Don't be conservative. Just go out there and continue to do the things that he does best, and you see what happened this first half.
Winner tonight tops 40?
Yes.
There you go. This week on the Today Show, feeling better from head to toe. The latest innovations in managing pain starting tomorrow on Today. And Al and Chris are back with the second half from Indianapolis after this.
This has been the Toyota Halftime. Let's go places.